So it's our last episode looking at World War One tanks I'd like to see added to War Thunder, and today we will be taking a look at some of the World War One tanks used by China. So for World War One, China was officially neutral until 1917, though Chinese labourers were used extensively by the Allied powers, doing work behind the lines in order to free up men for the front lines. China did eventually declare war on Germany and Austria-Hungary in 1917, with their few concessions quickly being occupied. But like with Japan, there was no large-scale deployment of troops to the Western Front, though about 2,000 or so Chinese troops would be sent to Vladivostok as part of the Allied interventions in Russia. And due to its late declaration of war, German territories like those on the Shandong Peninsula would be handed over to Japan, though they would start to be returned to China from 1922. But more importantly for this episode, China missed out on the beginning of tank development, and so like with Japan would have to import tanks from the Western Allies. However, unlike Japan, China was now entering a period of warlordism, which, long story short, basically there was a weak and divided central government, various coups, and basically various factions and leaders decided to become warlords, carving out territories to rule for themselves. One of these factions was the Funtian Army, or Northeastern Army, led by General Jiang Shuoling. And in order to bolster his army, he would order somewhere between 12 and 30 Renault FT-17s from France around 1925, with these being used in various battles against other rivals, such as the Kuomintang, though due to low numbers they were never a decisive factor in these battles. Like with the French Renault FT-17s, they could be armed with either a single machine gun or a 37mm gun. However, the 37mm gun does appear to be different to the French SA-18, at least in some pictures, with some of the sources I've used describing it as a Manchurian 37mm gun. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find an exact designation, though perhaps some Japanese Type 11 37mm guns could have potentially been obtained at some point, though this is just speculation on my part. That said, if the barrel is a bit longer leading to higher muzzle velocities, it should in theory be a little bit better than the French 37mm gun, though I suspect the improvements would be marginal at best. Other than that, it would have a two-man crew, a slow speed of around 4.3 miles per hour or 7 kilometers an hour, and a maximum armour thickness of 22mm. In War Thunder, the machine gun variants would be placed at battle rating 0.0, with the 37mm gun variants being at battle rating 0.3, with the tank itself being fairly slow, potentially underarmed, but decently armoured, and it would make a good start for the Chinese tech tree, at least with regards to World War I tanks. Unfortunately, the FT-17 seems to have been the only World War I tank that is confirmed to have been used by the Chinese, with most of these destroyed by the 1930s, the last few survivors being used as training vehicles before being captured by Japan during the Second Sino-Japanese War. There are occasionally references to two other tanks being used in China, these being the Schneider tank and the Fiat 3000. For the French Schneider, I personally doubt the veracity of these claims and have yet to see any conclusive proof of their presence in China, while the Italian Fiat 3000 seems a bit more likely, though again I've yet to see any concrete proof of this. And so unfortunately that is it for the Chinese tanks of the World War I period, and indeed for the whole series looking at World War I tanks I'd like to see added to War Thunder. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I hope you've enjoyed the series as a whole. I'll probably be moving on to interwar tanks next, but maybe not straight away, just have to see how things go. But hopefully I'll be joining you again with another video soon. So anyway, like I say, hope you've enjoyed the episode. I've been Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.